Welcome to Rebuilding the Beast, Victoria Jancke. You are an incredible person that I've gotten to know over the last couple of months. Actress, model, fempreneur, which is a term I just learned recently. Because even by the little bit of your story I've gotten to know, you've accomplished so much, and what you're doing with your story is very inspiring, especially the way you use your platform. I want to go back, and this is rebuilding the beast, right? And I think that you are a beast, and just because of the things that you've accomplished, but the things that you've endured while you accomplish the things that you did. So I want to go back and rebuild this beast that is Victoria. Take me back, take me back to your childhood and where you grew up, and tell me how the modeling came into your life.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me and my little puppy.
Hey,
um,
Winnie.
yeah, Winnie the Pooh Bear, the poor dog. No, not poor dog, the good dog. Oh my God. So yeah, I grew up in. Oh my God, I grew up in Berlin, Germany, and I grew up in a family. I would say like a normal working class family. None of my parents ever studied, um, and my parents got divorced when I was 3 years old, and I kind of grew up with my grandparents, if that makes sense. So my nana, she was like my mother as well, and my best friend and my soulmate, I would say. And from her I learned, yeah, like everything. And actually the necklace that I'm wearing today, it's from her. She died in 2016. She died from cancer, and I'm wearing her necklace every day. Actually, it's my lucky charm.
I'm
Mm,
sorry to hear that. RIP.
thank you. Yeah, she's the most important person in my life, and I think she's still with me, like my guardian angel. um and like always when I make a decision now, I'm always asking myself, what would my nana say? Would she be proud of me when I do it like this way? And also when I was a little child, she taught me to be loving, to be educated, and she also taught me to believe in myself, right? Because when I was younger, I had a lot of self-doubt. um, I was always the tallest girl in class, and you know how little kids are. I was also sick. Well, yeah,
I know
you
the
must be.
feeling. Yes.
I think for boys it's a little different. I don't know, but and also I had this problem. I don't know the name in English, but I couldn't write and read and speak properly, so I had to go to a special class, and I also had to learn how to speak. Um, if this makes sense, because I couldn't pronounce words in German. I had like this problem with the S kind of thing. And this is
Wow.
hard when you're young, because like kids are very mean, right? But I went through it, and I was always a fighter, even when I was a little kid. And I was lucky to have my nana, because she always pushed me. She always made me believe in myself, even when I had like hard times. She taught me to stand up, even when times are hard. So it's important to fight, because better days are always coming, and we all deserve to be happy and to follow our dreams.
So Nana was the person you feel like who gave you the confidence, who gave you that the want to, the drive to get
Yeah.
educated.
To never give
And
up, and to believe in myself, and to always fight for my dreams and my goals. Yeah.
where were your parents during this time as well? What were they giving you? What did they instill in you?
So my mom, I lived with my mom, but like as I said, most of the time I was with my grandparents, and with my dad, I didn't have contact for a few years. Later on, we had contact. but never that close. It's closer now. So now I'm in a good relationship with my parents and like with my dad. Actually, I have a very good relationship now. We talk a lot on the phone, we regularly meet. So it really changed. But when I was younger, I would say my parents were more my nana and my granddad. And I still think they are. I love my parents and my parents are my parents. But if you imagine like who is your parent, I would more say my granddad and my nana, if this makes sense.
What is what who brought modeling into your life?
Actually, not my family, a
Really?
scout. So I was 16 and I was walking on the street and this man came up to me. What sounds kind of creepy now when I say it like this, but he's a model scout. You know, like model scouts, they see girls or boys and they think, oh, she could be a model, he could be a model, so they talk to you and then they get you signed up with an agency, so they become like your manager in a way as well, right? So a model scout, he scouted me and then on the street in Berlin, and then I had my first catwalk for, do you know Vella hair, Vella, you know, L'Oreal,
Oh
Vella.
yeah. Okay.
Mm. So that was my first catwalk, and I wasn't sure about the modeling, and my mom, she wasn't, but she said, okay, yeah, let's do it. And then with the modeling, I had my ups and downs. It was never my dream to become a model, to be honest. It was always my dream to become an actress. Um, but also saying this, I'm very grateful for my modeling experience, because it also made me stronger in a way, and it also, yeah, helped me to be in front of the camera and to learn a lot as well, right? So actually, the universe put me into the modeling, I would say.
I love it. So one quick thing is like even with you meeting a guy at 16, it was the same thing with me. I met a guy when I was in America. I met this guy and he was the person that really introduced me to the game of basketball. After, after me, I tried and tried and I wasn't making it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to play basketball anymore. And this
Yeah.
guy meets me and he becomes a mentor, a guide, my coach, all these different things. We're traveling from place to place, and he's the person that really pushed me because sometimes I'm just trying to say, like, along your journey, sometimes you might meet somebody who's like your guardian angel, whether it's in the model world, whether it's in sports. You get a mentor that ends up helping you and guiding you into this path that you never knew. That's what some of these weird stories are, things that I want to tell so people understand, like, yo, you don't get to do it all on your own. You know what I mean?
No, never. Actually, my life motto is teamwork to make the dream work. So you always need someone. You always need like a group of people to be successful or to be happy as well, I would say, right? So, and about the mentor part, I actually have a mentor now. I actually have two mentors, one in the US and one here in Germany. And they help me with my acting, my business, like also with my self growth. And I think like to have a mentor is the best thing that you can have, because they help you to also be focused, right? Because for me, for example, I'm like an artist. I'm like all over the place. I always see new opportunities, so I want to do everything. I'm like, I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to do this and do this and do this, and it all comes to me. And then my mentor, he's like, okay, Victoria, focus. What are the two things you couldn't live without? Like, what makes you happy? What is it? So, and it's like the acting. And then I would say I'm also building my own coaching program now. So, this as well. So, he really helps me to focus. He also helped me to change my money mindset, because before I was always thinking I don't deserve to earn good money. I always put myself down. And that's why I never like earned as much as I probably deserve. And so he totally changed my mindset, and not just for the money, also for my
Your
yeah,
brand, for your career goals.
for everything, relationships, everything. So a mentor is actually the best thing that you can get or that you can do. And like, even if you if you don't have a mentor, what I advise people as well is like, for example, if you want to be maybe a successful model, let's say this, then maybe find someone who is a very successful model. You don't need to really meet them, but you can follow their way, and you can follow them on social media. You can read articles about them, listen to interviews, what they say, right? So, and then they can become your mentor in a way that they don't even know you, but they influence you, right? So this is what you can do as well. Or if you want to be in a long lasting relationship, maybe look for a couple, a married couple that's married for 30, 50 years, and try to meet with them or watch them, what they're doing. So you learn from them. So it's always learning from others. And you don't always need to like have a mentor in this way. You can also find inspirations of people who influence you. Yeah.
I'm glad you said it this way, because now you get to, yeah, this is actually why I started this podcast, because one of my mottos for this podcast is your success can be someone else's survival guide. And so somebody else is going to be watching this interview, a young kid, somebody who's starting the model world, and maybe somebody who's even in the model world already. And they're going to be looking for advice based on your story. And you don't have to go anything outside of what you've experienced. It's just somebody's looking at your story and saying, how did she accomplish these things? Right. So I want to take you through your journey about, being a model, getting to your mentors and all these things. So take me through your journey. So you start modeling in the 16s, and you say you had some ups and downs. So kind of paint the picture for us about like what it looked like. You got into the industry. Was it what you expected? How did it go? What was that journey like?
Well, I had my ups and downs, I would say. When I was younger, I was not very confident about myself, about my height, and then I was put in this spotlight, right? You have to be on a stage. It's like everyone is looking at your body and how you look like. Um, it was a journey, and also I learned a lot of good things. I learned to be a businesswoman. I learned to say no as well, in a way, right? I learned to fight. Um, I started to love myself in a way. I realized it's actually amazing to be tall and to look like how I look, that this is actually a big plus, and this is something I should be proud of. So this really helped me. But saying this is also when I was 24, um, I had an eating disorder, because what we also need to know about the modeling industry, right? It's you're always judged by your look. So they take your measurements, they look at your body, and they look at how you look like, how your skin looks like,
Wow.
because you earn money with your look. With the acting, it's different. In acting, and this is why I focus more on the acting as well, it's all about your talent and what you do as an actress, right? But no one comes and measures you. So I had my eating disorder when I was 24, and but I was very lucky, because I have very good friends, and my family, they actually did an intervention, and they were like, Victoria, you don't look healthy anymore, and you just, I was depressed as well, I would say, because imagine you don't eat and you do a lot of exercise, and everyone is just looking at your look, and they're always telling you you're not skinny enough. This does something.
Wow. Still, you kept pushing it farther and farther, and you
Yes.
didn't want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. I hardly ate anything and I was working out a lot. So yeah, I had this eating disorder, and they told me, Victoria, this is not you anymore. You don't look happy either. And I wasn't happy. To be honest, I wasn't happy, right? Um, and I changed after this, because I realized, okay, why should I make myself unhappy and unhealthy for someone else? Why would I do this? Life is too short. And then I changed my mindset. So I told myself, I'm not going to change for anyone. if they want to work with me, they need to work with me as I am. I'm not losing weight. I'm not doing this. Of course, I look after me because it's my job, but I'm not going there and measure myself and, being unhealthy, because I'm also very tall. So I don't actually, it doesn't make sense to have these kind of measurements for me, the 90, 60, 90 centimeter measurements, right?
Yeah, so tell us, how tall are you?
6 foot.
6 feet tall. I love it. That's the first thing I noticed when I met you in Germany, is how tall you are. But you know what I want to know is, how do you get to that point though? After your intervention, how do you get to the point where you're like, you know what, enough is enough. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep starving myself. I actually have to focus on my health as well. When did that start?
When I got depressed as well, when I wanted to kill myself. I think this was a wake-up call for me. And I actually never said this in a public. Oh my God, this is crazy. But having this eating disorder, not being happy, and I was just like, I woke up and I cried like every day, until I realized, okay, something is really wrong with me. And I also got a therapy. And so I think like having my family and friends, and also being on the lowest point in my life, one of my lowest points, I had a few, to be honest. Um, Actually, but also saying this, it made me stronger in the way, because after I went through this, I I never did this again. I never like put myself down in a way that I didn't eat or something. And saying this, they booked me. I even got better jobs after this, because the
Wow.
boundary, and I said like, no, it's me, and you have to take me as I am. And actually, this works very well, because mostly it's also about self-confidence, you know?
That's a very important thing that I don't want us to jump over. The fact
Yeah.
that you became healthier for yourself, and then your confidence came, and you were like, no, I have to book the things that make me, because at the end of the day, you do a better job when you are confident on stage and when you feel good about
Exactly.
yourself. And
Yeah.
so you got more jobs after you put that boundary up. I think that that's an important thing for people to learn, is that you don't have to comply to what everybody else is doing. That also brings these
That
weird expectations and depressions as well.
Yeah, it's because we always compare ourselves with other people, right? Especially in the media, on social media, we always look at these perfect women, and we think like, oh my God, I need to have big boobs. I need to be like super skinny. But you don't. Like beauty, it's so different for each person. For example, I also tell this young girls who go into the modeling, when they didn't get a casting or something, I tell them, like maybe, for one person, a red rose can be so beautiful, but for another person, a red rose is not beautiful, because they hurt
The
themselves.
thorns.
The-
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And this
Yeah.
is beauty as well. Like what is beautiful for me, it's maybe not beautiful for you. And it's like in the whole life, or also in the modeling industry, it's the same. If someone doesn't like how you look like, it's not because you're not beautiful, it's just like because it's not beautiful for them. But you
Well,
are,
that's not your problem.
yeah, it's not the problem. You are beautiful. The most important thing is that you think you're beautiful, and that you focus on yourself and on your self-love. Because if you do, then you will have also this whole personality, this confidence around you, what attracts other people, and this will attract people who are good to you as well, and yeah, who appreciate for what you are.
This is such a good topic. You started talking about depression.
Yes.
Reason why it's really interesting for me. I did a podcast yesterday for this mental health doctor, and he was asking me about depression. He
Yes.
said, well, like mental health is something we don't really talk about. What
Oh,
is
yeah.
it like for an athlete to go through, any kind of mental health stuff, depression, what have you? I said, well, to be honest, 3 years ago was one of my really hard first times of going through a severe, depression, because I was injured. They took away this love that I had, the thing that I loved in basketball. And with that being taken away, I felt like, man, like the world was coming out from under me, because it was like, okay, like who am I? Because you start finding your identity in the thing that everybody else calls you. They call you basketball player, right? So it's like, okay, so what am I now if I'm not a basketball player? And you forget like I'm me. Like, you know what I mean? Like you are you regardless of what it is that you do sometimes.
Yeah,
And I think you find your identity in how you look sometimes. You find your identity in social media sometimes. All these things that don't matter. You have to find your own self and take that with you to whatever opportunities you have. That's why I thought what you said was really important, because once you found your confidence, even the opportunities became better, you know?
exactly, exactly. And it's very interesting that you're talking about this right now, because I'm actually at, and I think right now for a lot of people, we are, we have this pandemic and a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people are being at home. And I think a lot of people out there asking themselves, so why am I here? Why am I like, what is my purpose? What do I want to do as work now? So I think it's very important. And it's also important to realize that we change, right? That it's okay to change. For me, for example, I'm still a model, but I put my focus more on the acting. So now I'm an actress and I built my own mentor program, coaching program as well. So I have like my clients in there now, because I'm just I'm changing as well. And also my ideas are changing, my beliefs are changing in a way. So it's also my work changes. And this is okay. Change is okay. We don't always need to be the same person. And the most important thing is that we do things for ourselves,
Mhm.
that we don't do things to please others. I think that's the most important thing. And this is also the key to success and to more important to happiness.
I love, wow, this is so great. Um, so now you're transitioning, or you transitioned a couple years ago. You did your acting job. What did it feel like to do your first acting, or to get your first big, role in a movie?
To be honest, like the first time when I was on stage or in front of the camera, it was so fulfilling. I just like realized, okay, that's the thing that I want to do until I die. This is actually one of my purposes why I'm here, to do the acting besides my charity work. Um, it's just like, because I always wanted to do the acting, right? But there were always people telling me, you're too tall, you're too beautiful, you don't have an education for 3 years in acting, especially here in Germany. They really look after this. And so I always put my dream to the side. And I always felt like there's something missing in my life. I'm not following my dream. And but since I'm doing this, since I'm following my passion for acting, I'm more happy. And I feel like, okay, that's why I'm here as well. And so it's an amazing feeling. It's very joyful and fulfilling. And even when I talk about it, it makes me smile, right? It just
Oh,
makes me
that's
happy. So yeah, it's just the thing that I want to do the rest of my life. Um, and I also don't put the pressure on it to earn money with it straight away, because it's also an art, right?
mm,
And I'm looking forward for this whole journey of of becoming a better actress, of getting more jobs, but like for earning money, I know this will come, but the main focus with the acting is that I live my artistic side, and that I can live my passion for the acting. And once the money comes, of course, it's perfect. But saying this, that's why I built another side business where I earn my money, so I can follow my passion for the acting. So I don't need to put the pressure on it to straight away, have my first Hollywood role. And saying this, because I put the stress out, actually the jobs are coming. Even when I
oh,
was still learning, I got like my first paid jobs as an actress. So all the jobs that I did so far as an actress were paid and very good jobs. But I think that's because I never put the pressure on it of like, okay, I straight away need a job in acting now. I so have to do this right now, otherwise I'm not going to survive. So I was like more, okay, I follow this, my love, I follow my passion for acting, and everything that comes, I'm open the door for it, but I'm not putting any pressure on
so another lesson right there we just learned. We're
it.
getting life lessons by Victoria Jancke.
Yeah.
Um, so that's important. because in the process of rebuilding, in the process of changing, the reason why people don't like it is because change is scary,
It
right?
is.
You have something that you know that you're successful at. Now you have to go start over from scratch at something else. And it's
Yes.
like, though, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to go be a rookie at something else. And then you have to be patient because it's like, okay, well, I have to give it time to mature, to be good. I have to give myself a chance to develop into your artistic side. That's what you said. And a lot of people don't have that. They just like, okay, I need to be good right now. I need to make money. And what you did was important. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do something else to supplement so I can earn income, so I don't put pressure on this. These are life lessons. These are things that people can learn from. And it's like whether it's in your art, whether it's in your job, give yourself a chance to grow. You
Yeah.
know, that's what rebuilding is give yourself a
Time.
chance
Yeah.
to enjoy the process. Yeah.
And time as well. Don't rush things. Well, also, but also saying this, go for your dream. Don't wait too long, because what a lot of people do is like they live the safe life, so they're waiting until they think they're safe enough to follow their dreams.
Mm.
But what I did with the acting, I sold my all my stuff in my apartment. I gave up my apartment. I worked hard. I saved money, and then I went to Los Angeles, and I was like, okay, I'm going there for 3 months. I'm going to an acting school, and I see how I like it. And and you know what happened in these 3 months? Not that I fell in love with the acting. I also got my first agent in Los Angeles with KMR. I had my first paid gig as an actress in an American short film, and I got like so many connections. And when I came back to Germany, a few months later, I had this casting for this TV series, Czech TV series, Einstein, and I got the role. We
Wow.
filmed for 3 months. So everything just came together, but also, like we said, I didn't put pressure on it, but I did it. I didn't wait a year longer or something. I said, I'm doing it now. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And that's true. If you always say, I do it later, I do it in a month, I do it in a year, you will never do it. So do it straight away. Do it smart as well. Of course you need money. We all need money to live, right? So get some savings, go there, or whatever you want to do. Or even like if you work in an office or whatever, you can talk with you, and you want to be a musician or something, maybe you can talk with your boss and say like, hey, could I work like part-time, or could I work from home? Okay, now we all work at home, but could I work from home? And then you could get a vocal teacher, you start doing this, and then maybe on social media you connect with more musicians. So you do it like, you do it straight away, but you also do it smart, step by step, so you still have your income, but you also focus on your dream, right? And you can also set a time. I said like, okay, I'm going 3 months to LA. I have this and this in my mind, what I want to do. And what's the worst what can happen? That I'm broke, that I go back to Germany, and that I like work again, and I realize, okay, maybe the acting wasn't something for me. So that's the worst what can happen. I'm not going to die. I'm not gonna, And so yeah, I did it, and this helped me. And I think that's very important to do it. And yeah.
I love it. I love it. Um, Recently, you started talking about some challenges and giving interviews about these. Talking openly about the challenges that you faced in life. At 17, you were sexually assaulted. Um, what can you tell me about that?
First of all, maybe I should say why I started to talk about this like many years later. So I made this decision because I want to help other women or other people who like also got raped. And I also want to change the view of the public, because what people mostly do is they put us in a victim position. And I always say we're not a victim. We're actually heroes, because we went through this, and we're still here. I'm still here. Of course, I had very hard times. I suffered from a post-traumatic syndrome. I was depressed. It took me 3 years until I started therapy, and it took me another 3 years to go through this, and it took me many, many more years to talk in public about it. And I'm still in therapy, and I still talk about it. but I learned to live with it. And I also found a purpose in it. And my purpose is to really empower other people who went through the same to believe that they are heroes and that they follow their dreams and their goals and that they don't let anyone put them down. And also, I want, especially here in Germany, I want to change the law. And because I think the people who are rapists, they are sick. They're mentally sick and they need help. And that's another thing that I'm talking about it. And also, I want us to lose the shame because there's a lot of shame involved. So I never went to the police. I got raped when I was 17. I never went to the police because I was so ashamed. And I always thought it's my fault that this happened because I was drunk and I was like, okay, it's all my fault. But it's not my fault. It's no one's fault, right? Like even if you're naked in the park, if you're lying around naked in the park, no one has the right to touch you. So it's everyone who went through the same. It's not your fault. And yeah, also for me, the only thing that helped me was therapy. And I think it's important to get help because it's, you know, when someone rapes you, it does a lot with you, psychological, and yeah, also with your feelings. So, and for me, therapy helped, and that's another thing that I want to, you know, show people that you can go through this like really hard time, that you can get help, and that you can be successful and happy. I'm happy now. I have a normal sexual life. I'm following my dream to be an actress, and I'm being happy with my life and being successful as well. And I want to use my story to empower others to who maybe went through the same, you know, to not give up, to actually take this and make this to your strength and to become more successful and happy and successful. Happy should be first, but it comes together. But yeah, happiness and success. Yeah.
Absolutely. First off, thank you for sharing, because I understand that the way trauma works is every time you have to tell the story, you're actually reliving that trauma.
Yes.
People, I think, like the thing of PTSD is your brain doesn't understand time when it comes to trauma.
Mm,
And there are things in my life where I've had PTSD just going back and reliving, right?
yeah.
So I'm really grateful that you're sharing this with me. I'm really grateful that you're being a hero, a beast. But I want to talk about this because I think it's another aspect that people don't understand. You know, shame is a very powerful thing,
Mm,
and most of the time it's a key factor in why people don't want to speak up or talk about it.
mm,
You
yeah.
know, so how did you learn not to blame yourself? How did you learn to keep peace with your past, and how were you able to open up and start speaking about your sexual assault?
Well, through my therapy, definitely I learned a lot. And in my therapy, I realized that this is not my fault because always before I always thought it's like my fault that this happened. Um, and I also worked on my confidence, you know, and that I deserve to be happy because before I thought like I don't deserve to be happy and maybe this happened for a reason, you know, and I totally changed my mindset. And also now I still have therapy. I have my mentor. I meditate as well. That really helps me to be in my inner self and to focus on my things. But I think it's very important, the self love, because a lot of years I didn't love myself because it kind of, I don't know, was taken away from me. This love to my body, to myself. Um, Actually, saying this now, I think my eating disorder also had to do a little bit with my rape because I think I lost the contact to my body. You know, I think I really lost this to love my body and myself. Um, because it was like 3 years, well, kind of. But yeah. So anyway, so therapy really helped me, and the learning to love myself and to realize that I'm it's not my fault that this all happened. And I also forgiveness, to forgive the person who did this to you. And saying this forgiving doesn't mean that you say it's okay what the other person did. Forgiveness is more for yourself, because if you forgive, you also let go of the anger, you let go of the hate, you let go of the shame, right? And letting go and forgiving, it's actually, it makes you free, because you let go of these emotions, these like very negative emotions. And forgiveness is a big step as well. It's a hard and long way to go there. It took me a while, but I forgave him. I hope he's going to be, I hope he got help, and I hope he's not doing this to any other person. But also it's my life and I need to focus on me. Yeah.
How can you be a support system to those who have experienced sexual assault, or even more, this is traumatic experience? What kind of tools do you think that they can use? What, that kind of stuff. What kind of tools do people use to recover from PTSD? I know you said therapy. I know you said
Yeah, definitely.
meditation.
Definitely therapy. Also, here in Germany, we have like these help phone numbers where you can call and you can talk with someone about it. I think talking about it really helps. And it really helped me to because I didn't want to talk with my mom about it or with anyone else. Um, just having someone that you can, with a therapist, this is a neutral person. You can tell this person everything and they will not talk with anyone about it. And
Mm.
this really helped me to actually say everything that I have inside of me that you like can say out loud to your loved ones, because they will be worried, right? So this really helped. So I would say like calling a help phone number, getting a therapy, getting a coach. Um, I personally think it's very hard to go through this alone. I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't. And for me, the only thing helped was therapy. But also, I would say like reading. But also reading, it also puts a lot back. So I would, to be honest, I would say therapy.
Therapy
There's no,
is
there's no easy way out of this. It is something that was really hard, but I can tell you something. Once you go through this process, and look at me, it made me stronger, and it made me be so successful as well in a way, because it made me believe in myself. And also I'm just following my dreams and goals now. I'm saying no to people. And I think also my industry, in the modeling or acting industry, there's a lot of shady things going on as well. And I'm a beast. I say like, no,
damn right.
this way, we're not going this way, my way or the highway. Yeah.
So, one of the things I love that you said is that you're happy now, and that's the biggest thing is, the work is hard to do the work mentally, and in any kind of traumatic experience, because you go through a period where you're like, man, like I'm not, you go through depression and it's all these different things, but the end of the road is the reason why we do the work. It's the happiness at the end of the road. Um, what can men do to be better allies, to make women feel more safe on a day-to-day basis?
I think if you feel like you have this intention, or you have like this feeling that you could do something to a woman, I think it's very important that you search for help, that you get therapy as well, because I think it's an illness. So I think realizing this and getting help is very important to protect others. Um, yeah, and talking about it. And then what else? Well, there are few things, like some powerful men don't use your power to get like, sexual favors or something. Just be man enough to also support a woman without any bad intention, with any intentions, right? So, and I think to be supportive, and also if you have someone like a friend or a woman who needs help her, right? Be there for her, listen to her. And but it's not about man and woman. I think it's about being a human in general. I think we all should, look after each other and support each other, and not trying to put someone down. And also when you have some kind of power, don't use your power against someone, use your power to do good. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I the reason why I asked that question that way is because I want to understand, because a lot of times people even have conversations, like in the basis of the conversations that we have. um, I think sometimes men with power, like they get excited to use that power in a way that shows that they're powerful, so they could do this. And so I think it's important for men to also hear this conversation and say, okay, what can I do to also be an ally, to support, and not to act in a way that I can affect other men to make them think differently about this. Has this experience affected your relationship with men? Like, are you able to still trust
Yeah, I
meeting
trust.
strangers?
I had problems, to be honest. I had problems for years where I didn't trust any man, where I thought every man is bad. But also therapy and self-love helped me to trust you guys again, because not everyone is the same, right? Because I met like one maybe sick person doesn't mean everyone is sick, and there are good guys out there as well. So yeah, I'm also having a great sexual life, so it's all good.
The second time you said that, so whoever,
Yeah, I love
you
sex
know what,
actually.
this, I feel like we need to have a rebuilding the beast sex tutorial.
This is another thing. As women, we should be allowed to talk about sex, that we love sex as well, right? And also, when I like, okay, I got raped when I was 17, but it's like I went through therapy and everything. So why can I enjoy my sex life? You know what I mean? So I'm someone who's very, I also show myself on my Instagram. I love my body because I love my body and I want to show it, right? So I like to be in a bikini or half naked. It's just like the way that I am. And we're all born naked, by the way. So yeah, I just love it.
Like, I just liked it. um,
Like I'm wearing normal clothes. I was like, okay, for this interview, I need to be a little bit.
no, I love it. I love it. There's different aspects to your life. You've explained to me different things that's happened, and I'm like, I don't even know how to compartmentalize. This is one of the reasons why I think that you're a beast, is because you've had that happen. You've had a near death experience
Oh yeah,
um in 2017. Can you tell me something about it? Let's you tell me
yeah,
more about it.
yeah. So I nearly died, and oh my god, this sounds like so. I nearly died. Got hit by a truck.
Casually.
So like, no, I actually talked about this today in another interview. So yeah, in 2017, actually 17th of July was a crazy date if you think about it as well. And I was wearing this necklace from my nana. I was on my bicycle, and it was in the morning, 9:20 a.m. Actually, I know everything. And so there was a truck, a very big truck, and he wanted to turn right, and my traffic light was green, right? So, and I know about the dead angle. He stopped. I went slower, so I thought like, okay, he stopped, so he probably saw me. Um, he didn't. And then I continued riding my bicycle, and in the same moment, the truck started to drive as well, and then everything went very fast. I couldn't stop. He didn't see me, and I got like stuck in his wheel. Like my wheel got in his wheel, and
Oh,
my leg was between the street and the bicycle, and I hit my head. And he was moving, and I remember I tried to get out my leg, and I tried on the other side to push the truck away because he was moving. So he got like closer and closer, and I got like deeper. Um, and I just, in this moment, normally they say when you have like this kind of experience, you see your life before. But what I had was, so I was like screaming, stop, 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 and I tried to push this away. But in the same moment, I had like these pictures, like very bright pictures, very bright, like light kind of thing. and I had like these pictures with all the things that I wanted to do, right? Going to LA, being an actress, being in Munich, being married. So I saw this like I don't know how to describe, like in a movie in a way. So it was like these
Mm.
bright pictures popping up like this. And I was like, I don't know to whom I talk, but I was like, please, please, please give me this one chance. I want to do all these things. It's not my time yet. Please let me be here. I promise you I will follow my dreams. I will all do all this what I see now. Please, please, please give me this one chance. Oh, and actually talking about this now reminds me I really need to, I should follow my way, my path, because it's the right way. And I got this like present that I'm here, that I'm still being able to live. And then the truck stopped, and I woke up in the hospital. And I remember the doctors, they came to me, and the nurses, and they were standing around my bed, and they looked at me like this, and they were like, Frau Janke, Miss Jancke, this is more than a wonder that you are still alive. You had like two guardian angels or even more surviving this. Like most people die from these kind of accidents, or they have like really bad injuries, and they checked my brain, everything. And but saying this, like this moment changed my whole life. After this, I really started living saying this, because before I was very unhappy. My nana died. I was in a very shitty relationship. I actually had an office job then that I didn't like, because I thought I'd try this out, living the safe life. Did make me happy. And because the safe life is not always making you happy. And so then I like quit my job. I broke up with my ex-partner. I moved I moved to Munich because this was one of my dreams as well. And yeah, since then I'm just following my dreams, because in the end we just have this one life, and it can be over so quick. You can step out of your door, someone hits you, and you die. And when I'm going to die, I want to look back at my life and look at all the things that I did and be like, cool, well done. You followed your dream. Sometimes doesn't matter if you really achieve your dream. I think it's the thing that you really start doing it and that you follow your dream. I think that's the most important thing. And then on the way, you will discover a lot of beautiful things. And so I'm doing this, and I'm very excited about life and about all the challenges that I will still face, because with every challenge you also grow. If you always stand up and you never give up, you always grow. It makes you stronger. And I know this is like a quote that a lot of people hear, but one door closes, another one opens for you. So, and I learned this in life as well. Sometimes I was like thinking, oh my God, why is this like right now? I'm like my management and I were quitting, right? And I was sad about it, because he's like also my manager, is my friend. But I also know, because I'm going another way now. So I'm actually becoming the head of a company now. It's just better for me, because I'm just getting bigger from like
How you grow.
I grow. Thank you. I was missing this word. So I'm growing. And now sometimes when you grow and you go in another direction, some people maybe don't come with you because it's just not fitting. And it's also okay to let go of like jobs. It's okay to let go of people, because same with friendships. Sometimes we let go of our friends, and then new friends come in our lives. Or you have one partner and it doesn't work, and then a new partner comes into your life. I think that's just how life is, and it's also beautiful, because it means we always change, and we're always you know creating new things and meeting new people. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, even if it's scary. I'm scared a lot of times. Everyone thinks I'm so brave. Damn,
Sure,
I'm
me
so.
too.
Huh?
Yeah, I said me too. I understand the scared feeling for sure.
Life is scary. Life is so scary, especially if you choose a path that's not very secure, right? Like me going to LA or these kind of things, or like giving up a job where you earn, you save money, your apartment, you have the safe life, but did it make me happy in the end? No, it didn't. And what's the most important thing in life is that we are happy, right? So
Chasing success or chasing the next level and being a better version of yourself is uncomfortable. That's one thing that everybody has to understand. It's not, there's no, but I heard this thing the other day, because these quotes, I know they're cheesy, but
there's
they're they
secure.
they're true. They come from
Yeah,
somewhere. Like, they stand the test of time. There's a reason why people say them over and over and over, and
yeah,
it's like it's a real thing. And so someone said, like, it's uncomfortable regardless. It's uncomfortable to be unsuccessful and on the street. It's also uncomfortable to be. It's regardless. You're gonna have discomfort. So why don't you chase the thing that's gonna give you a reward? And I thought that that was a really, the way he put it was very dramatic. He was like, you're gonna be in hell. Like, why would you, if you're in hell right now, why would you stop?
yeah.
Because a lot of people want to quit when they're in a bad time. And it's like, yo, if you're in hell right now, why would you stop? Why don't you just keep going and work your way out of this bad time? So, um, surviving death, right? So there's actually a Netflix documentary. It's called
Yeah, I saw
Surviving
this
Death.
one. I saw this one. It's very good.
And it's about people who survive near death experiences, and a lot of times it takes away their fear of death, because they have this peaceful feeling, because they feel this thing, they see a light, whatever have you, and they feel like they know that what's coming next is pleasant.
Yes,
um do you agree with that after your
yes.
experience?
I would say yes. I'm not scared of dying anymore, but also because since I had this death experience, I'm following my dreams. And for me, it's okay. I don't want to, of course, I don't want to die now, but it would be also okay if I do, because I'm following my dreams, and I'm not scared anymore, because I realized that's just part of our life as well, that we all die and somehow. And but I rather do the most out of the time that I have here.
Man, I love it. um okay, I guess you kind of answered that question about death. And do you believe in the life after?
Yes, I believe in spirits. I think the day when I was like nearly dying, I think my nana was by my side. I think she watched me. I actually saw her. I know it sounds weird, but I saw her. She was like up there, and I feel she's by my side. She's my guardian angel. So I believe in spirits. And I think that also my nana was my soulmate, because actually the night when she died, I was with her and I knew she would die. And with my nana, for example, she always was like touching my hand like this, and she always knew what I feel and what I think. And I had the same with her as well. And I knew the night when she died, she would die, and she wants me to be there. I can't even explain it, and it was a very beautiful experience to be there with her, just her and me, and I was holding her hand, and I was thinking about all the beautiful things, like being in the garden with her, all the beautiful moments that we had. And this was one of the most beautiful things that I had. Sounds maybe weird, and it hurts that she's not here anymore, but I know she's here. She's somewhere. I wear her necklace. She's in my heart. Like everything good about me is because of her. And I know she lives within me. And when I have children, I would teach them the same thing that she taught me, and then she will live within them. You know what I mean? And I believe in spirits. I so do. I really do. Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it. I do as well. I think about my grandparents, and I was talking to my grandpa, my mom's dad,
Hmm.
last week, and I was asking him about my dad's dad. and because they were friends. And he was explaining him as he was talking about him. You know, he was tall. He was a very principled guy. It was like as he was explaining all these different things about him, I was like, wait, that's me. You know, like
Yeah,
everything that he was
pretty
talking about.
tall.
Yeah, it was weird, and he was especially tall. I it's so hearing him talk about it, I was like, wow, like he is living on in me. Even though I didn't even get to, he died when I was like 7 years old, 7 years old,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I do believe in that as well. So just want to say that's not weird. Okay, another thing that you've talked about and that you told me about is that you underwent surgery in 2019
Hmm.
because you would have faced cervical cancer otherwise.
Hmm.
At this point, did you ever think, why is all this stuff happening to me? Like, do you sometimes feel like it's unfair?
Well, in 2019, I was at a point in my life. Actually, I think it's a reminder from life to wake me up thinking about this now.
Mm.
Mm, because in 2019, I was working so hard for my dream that I didn't look after my body. So I woke up every day at 5 a.m. I was managing myself. I respond to the emails. Then I had to travel to a photo shoot. Then I had a photo shoot. Then I had a red carpet event. Then I went back to Berlin or Hamburg. I was living in Hamburg by then. And so I went to bed at 1 a.m. Same thing next day, waking up at 5 a.m. I did this for a while. I didn't eat so good. I didn't sleep. I was just like working over my body, not listening to my health. And I think this was like when I got like this diagnose. I think this was a wake up call from the universe again. They were like, okay, Victoria, you got it now with following your dream, but girl, also focus on your health, right? You can follow your dream,
Absolutely.
but you don't need to be crazy or not like looking after yourself. You also need to look after yourself. And so I had this operation before Christmas, and I was staying at my other nana's place in a village here in Germany. And I just did nothing. And I thought about my life again. And I got the message, right? I was like, okay, I was thinking about death again. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to die now. And I still want to follow my dreams, but I also need to look after myself more here. Because if I don't do this, I maybe follow my dreams, but I die on the way before achieving the dream,
You need
because
you. You need you to be there as well when you're also chasing these dreams.
exactly. So I was like, okay, change this now. And it's good that I talk about it because sometimes I still forget because we're human beings and we get like very easily caught up in our daily lives and we forget about the things that we learned. And actually talking about these kind of things helps me again to remind myself, okay, Victor, look after yourself more. But I think I found a good way that I also that I first of all I say goodbye to people who I realized were not good to me. I had management that really pushed me to my limit. They just, they didn't see me as Victoria anymore. They just saw me as a person that they can earn money with, and they didn't care about like my feelings or how I felt. And this it's not good for me. So I learned to also say goodbye to some people and to take my breaks. So I take like 1 or 2 days in a week where I say, okay, these days I'm just doing nothing. I'm just doing the things that I want to do. And also I learned to set boundaries, to say no to my management, to say no to people, in order to be healthy. Yeah.
I learned about some of these things from, I have a mentor who was actually my former boss, but we became really good friends. And he was the person that taught me about meditation
I
because
mean,
you got to understand.
it's so
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
you got to think this guy, I mean, he's a billionaire, right? He owns several sports franchises, basketball, baseball, football, all these different things. He
Yeah.
also does movies, he does a bunch of things. And we text back and forth all the time. And one of the times we're at lunch and we're at lunch for like 3-4 hours. Like we're talking about life, and it's just me and him, like,
Yeah.
And so at some point he like, he likes to ask these deep questions about, my life. And he asked me about, what did he ask me? How did he say? Oh, so I was asking him about success and how he's still able to, how do you keep all this stuff in one place? Like it's like I have like 5 things going on sometimes. I'm like, man, I can't even keep up. But he has companies, plural, that he's having to keep in touch with. And he still has time to sit for lunch. He still texts me to check on me. These kind of things are important. And I said, how do you do it? How do you keep track of this? Yeah. So, I asked my mentor, I said, and I was laughing. I asked my mentor about, how do you remain focused? How do you compartmentalize all these things? And he said, I've been sitting here with you for 4 hours. I haven't touched my phone one time. He said, I'm able to stay here present with you. One of the biggest things I discovered was meditation. I was like, meditation. At this time, I thought it was a little hokey because, they try to get us to meditate when I was playing basketball as well. Like when I was with the Warriors, like we would be in the locker room before a game, and this guy would come in who was a therapist. He's like, everybody sit there and meditate. And he's like going through telling us what else to do, right? Feel your feet and close your eyes and sit straight up and all these different things, take breaths. And we're all like, opening one eye, looking like, is everybody really doing this? you know? But at some point it was hokey, but I got to understand later what it means, what it does for you, right? You don't need anything. You literally, how they say the best things in life are free?
Exactly.
The
The
problem with
sunset,
it,
the sunrise, the flowers, you know.
but we don't appreciate it until somebody puts a price on it. Because if somebody then told you it's $1,000 to meditate, you'd be like, oh, that's the thing. But
Yeah.
you just need
Yeah.
to sit there and be quiet. Just turn everything off and just sit there and just breathe so you can get within yourself. Because a lot of times what we do is we let pressures of life get to us. We think about the past, we think about the future, we think about other people's expectations of us. After a while, you don't even do what you want to do. You just do things because people expect these things of you. So it's a way of getting closer to yourself. So I've always thought that was important. And then when you talked about the days off, he said every Sunday he doesn't do anything. All
Same.
he does is walk around his house in his boxers. And I
Yeah,
was
oh my
like,
God, I do
oh,
the same. I said this today. Someone asked me, what do you do to relax? I'm like, well, Sundays, I'm just wearing my pajamas the whole day. I do whatever I want. I sleep, I eat chocolate, I watch Netflix, I order sushi or the food that I crave. I just do the things that I want to do and I do nothing.
nothing, nothing. And I thought that was really important because we're in this age right now where we feel like you have to grind
Yes,
twenty-four
you
seven
always
all the
have
time.
to do something. That's what we always think, like, oh, I have to do, I have to do, I have to do. No, you also need to recharge your battery. And you do this when you do nothing. And when you look after yourself. And when I have my Sundays off, imagine on Mondays, I'm so productive. You know what I mean? Because I had this one day off or the 2 days off. But if I work like straight 7 days a week, I'm like, I will have days where I'm so off where I can't even concentrate. You know what I mean? So,
Man.
yeah.
Um, so you have, okay, you faced a lot of challenges in your life.
Yeah.
Yes. You also told me, and not to bring this up casually, but you also told me that you had an abusive childhood.
Mm.
Now, how do you stay positive and not fall into the victim mentality?
Therapy. Saying this over and over again, but it helps me and it
Therapy
still
is important, y'all. If y'all
yeah.
didn't get that already.
Yeah, man, no, we're talking German. So yes, yeah, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah, man. Meditation, mentoring really helps me. Working on the self-love. I think it's the biggest, love journey that you can have, and it's a very wonderful one. I'm still learning it. I would say I love myself, but it's still a way to go. And also, we grow, we change. So we always need to learn to love ourselves in a different way. um, and I think that's helping me a lot. Loving myself and treating myself good and living with everything that happened to me, and to take my energy out of this as well. And if someone would ask me, if you could go back in the past, would you change something? I would say no. Why would I? Everything that happened to me, even the bad things, they made me to the person that I am today, and they made me bloody strong. Like
Say that
everything.
again. Say that again. Oh my
And this
goodness.
like
Oh,
all the like all the bad experience, I would never change them because they make me bloody strong. Like I'm the
absolutely.
person that I am, the beast that I am right
Yeah.
now. It's because also of my like bad experience, because I had to fight through this. I had to become strong. I had to had to go through this, and it made me to the person that I am today, and I would not change this for anything.
Don't change the past. You can't change it. Accept it. It's going to be part of what
Accept
makes you
it and make
strong
the
in the
best
future.
out of it, right?
You're really vocal about the causes as well that you support.
Yes.
Um, Tell us about some of them, and what are you getting up to, and the causes you're supporting, and just tell us more about all this.
Yeah, so like giving back to people is always important. It's very important for me actually. So I'm the ambassador of three charity organizations here in Germany. One is called Tribute to Bambi. I'm supporting a child project where little kids who don't have a lot of money still get a warm meal a day, and they get help with their education, and also they get a sport program, because what is really important for the child growth and for learning is that you have food in your tummy, but that you also exercise, to grow and to also learn the teamwork. To You learn when you do sports, you learn to work together with others. You learn a lot about your body. So I'm supporting this. I'm the ambassador of this project, and also I'm supporting Weißer Ring, and they help victims of crimes, of violence, of people who got raped. And this, of course, is something that really, really is important for me. And then I'm also supporting Wir Water is Right. It's a charity organization here from Germany as well. And they help people in Kenya, in Africa, some countries. They help to build projects where the people learn how to generate water, because a lot of people in the world, they don't have the access to water that we have. And as we know, water is very important, and it's a human right as well. So everyone should be able to access water. That's why this project is very important as well. And I'm supporting it with like everything that I have with my social media. I'm talking in the press about it. Once we're allowed to, I will also travel to the countries to look at the projects, what they're doing there. So yeah, these are my social projects. I also studied social work because the social cause is always important for me. Also now with my mentoring program and my coaching program, I also want to help people to follow their dreams, and to start their own business, but also personal growth, because with everything that I'm doing, I want to give back to people. Also with the acting, I think with the acting you can also talk about like really important subjects that matter, to make people aware of things. And so yeah, this gives me life purpose as well, because I give back to the people, and it's not just about me, you know.
This is and as the podcast is now winding down, I want to say this is one of the reasons why I think that you're a beast, but just an awesome human being, because you've
Thank
taken your pain, you've taken your struggles, you've taken your journey, and you've converted that not just to help you, but you also want to use it to help other people. And if we can reflect on our journeys this way, that's what this thing is about. This podcast is about you talking to other people and
you.
sharing your journey, but it's also about you reflecting, understanding that you've been through a lot and you've turned all that for good. And I'm really proud of you. Now, this is my favorite question. It's also the last question. Um, as you sit here and you think back and you think of everything you've been through so far, if you could go back in time to sit with your 17-year-old self,
Yeah.
talk to her, what kind of advice, what would you say to her?
So I would say, Vicky, that's my nickname. Vicky, you're stronger than you think. Everything that you want to achieve in life, you're able to. You are such a strong little woman, and life will give you challenges, but you will make it through it and you will be so successful. Successful in a way that you will be happy, successful being in like what you want to do. And I know you don't believe in yourself so much at the moment, but you're worth loving. And the biggest love that you can give yourself is the love to yourself. And you're strong, and you will go through everything that's coming, and you will get the best out of it. Yeah.
Man, you are really strong. You're so strong. I appreciate this. I appreciate the time. I knew that it was going to be amazing. Um,
Thank you.
just as so we were patient, we were trying to figure it out, but this is all part of the process. And I just knew that this story was going to be incredible. And I'm excited. You're moving to America soon, maybe?
Yes, LA, baby. It's summer. I'm so excited. I want to come back so bad. I need some sun. And I love the US, my friends there. And yeah, this summer I will
Everything
be.
is locked down still, right? In Germany?
Yes, now they don't allow us to go outside after 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or something.
Wow.
Crazy.
Do you
Yeah.
follow the rules?
Yes, of course. No, I do. I'm very careful. I'm like all about my puppy and my work, and but I miss being in a cafe, having my coffee, and I also miss LA. I miss the US. I really like it there. So but I will be back. I'm planning
Party
a
in the USA soon.
sorry, party in
I
the
said
USA.
soon. Yeah.
Yes, baby.
No, I'm
Yeah.
really excited for you. Thank you for this as well. Oh,
Thank you.
P.S. You have to also tell us where to find you, where to follow you, how we can follow your journey. You're such an inspiring person. So I want the young women out there and men as well to follow you. All the well, okay, I can't say what I want to say, but
What?
I was gonna say all the men to see all the you were talking about your sexy pictures that you post
Yeah,
on
why
Instagram.
not? I love
So
my face.
for
Go.
the men to follow and for the women
OnlyFans
to
are
follow.
coming
So
soon.
oh gosh.
I'm not kidding. It's actually coming soon. I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, but I will show on my OnlyFans account more about I will actually talk about business, fempreneur things, and about the modeling behind the scenes and acting. So I will not show sexy pics so much, but yeah. So, anyways, you can follow me on Instagram under my name, Victoria with a C dot Janke, Jancke. This is the same on Facebook. Where else am I? TikTok, Clubhouse, YouTube, Twitter. Oh, Twitter is actually Victoria underscore line, or how you call this, Yankee.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
And
me.
OnlyFans coming soon, y'all.
On
So you guys be excited about this.
Yeah, we're also
Um,
put my very, very sexy pics in. And also I'm creating my own NFT because I'm also doing NFT now in crypto and these kind of things. Because that's another thing, a lot of people think like, oh, she's beautiful, she's probably not smart. But I'm craving for education. And that's one thing I want to say before we end this is educate yourself. If you want to grow in life, always educate yourself. Get a book, read a book, listen to interviews, follow like inspiring people, learn from them, take notes. I always take notes. Always when I hear something, when I think something is important, I always write it down on my phone. So education is the key.
You are such an inspiration. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. So many gems in this hour and a half. Oh my gosh. Thank you,
Thank you
Victoria.
so much. I think it's very important what you're doing, and thank you so much for having me and for letting me share my story.